We now take you to the distant and enigmatic Easter Island, world-renowned for its massive stone statue sculpted many centuries ago. Archaeologists are buzzing with excitement today about an incredible new find, as we are about to broadcast from this place of awe. For centuries, Easter Island's giant stone figures have stood in eerie silence, their etched faces surveying the Pacific as though keeping an old secret. These hand-carved Moai statues, which are more than 1,000 years old, have long puzzled explorers, historians, and scientists. Who built them? Why were they put here on one of the remotest corners of the planet? And perhaps most curiously, what is beneath them? These millennial-old questions recently took a stunning twist. With cutting-edge artificial intelligence, scientists mapped the island more thoroughly than ever before, unearthing layers of stone and soil without picking up a spade. What they uncovered surpassed hidden torsos and ghostly carvings. Hidden chambers, geometric caverns, and symbols carved deeply into volcanic rock began to reveal themselves, creating patterns that whisper through time. The discoveries have rocked the archaeological community and sparked a storm online. Might the Moai be sentinels of a long-forgotten disaster or custodians of information humans aren't prepared to understand? AI has reopened one of history's most intriguing mysteries: the secrets hidden beneath Easter Island's Moai. For years, the globe has been familiar with Easter Island for its giant stone heads strewn along hilltops like ancient guards. Movies, books, and postcards only showed their upper half, implying that these were simply giant skulls emerging from the ground. But things turned out much more remarkable. In the early 1900s, archaeologists finally figured out that the so-called heads had long, buried bodies attached to them. As the soil eroded, fragmentary glimpses of carved torsos were visible, and later excavations uncovered that they were complete statues, some more than 30 feet tall and over 80 tons in weight. The heads, as it transpired, were only the tops of something much larger. But even that discovery added to the mystery. How could people cut off from the rest of the world, unaided by metal tools or machinery, cut, move, and bury such colossi? Why were so many deliberately interred, as though concealing something powerful beneath? For centuries, archaeologists tried to get answers the old-fashioned way, excavating cautiously, recording slowly, and hoping time would reveal its secrets. On Easter Island, however, excavation was risky business. The Moai are sacred, guarded by the Rapanui as defenders of the island. Digging too deeply threatened desecration or harm. Harsh climate, volcanic dirt, and centuries of wear and tear made it tougher. For decades, scientists could only hold on to pieces of the truth. Then technology's tipping point arrived. By 2025, an interdisciplinary team of scholars and private researchers ventured into the unseen without desecrating the hallowed terrain. They used ground-penetrating radar, drone-borne LiDAR, and multispectral imaging, piling up mountains of raw data. But it was artificial intelligence that created order out of disorder. With the help of deep learning algorithms, AI interpreted soil layers, filtered out geological noise, and revealed patterns beyond the reach of human sight. In days, it mapped what would have taken decades, and what it found was awe-inspiring. Under the Moai were geometric vacancies, tunnels, and spiral structures that looked like stairways. Some scans indicated sealed chambers too well-formed to be anything other than man-made. More astonishing were the hidden carvings found with multispectral imaging, symbols tucked away for centuries. Spiral suns and unusual angular markings unlike anything Polynesian art had ever shown up. Were they ornamental, religious, or warnings of future? No one knew. But when AI matched these carvings against patterns on ancient monuments, tombs, and star maps across the globe, the findings were remarkable. The Moai designs looked cosmic, synchronized with the stars, reenacting solar eclipses, solstices, and astrocycles. The Moai were no longer mere silent stone observers. They were part of a giant encoded system, half ritual, half communication, engraved in the island itself. Archaeologists started to believe that these old constructors would have been attempting to tell us something, a warning that was kept safe through the years. As more scans were done, faintly written things that had been covered for centuries started to be illuminated by multispectral light. To the naked eye, they were marks of age. To AI, they were intentional inscriptions. Some looked like Polynesian sun and wave motifs, while others could not be classified. Mathematical in design, alien in shape. Everywhere on the island, the same scene was repeated. Waves cresting over a single figure, as if recounting the tale of a great flood or a message for the future. Some scientists have thought the find is an ancient flood story, a remembrance of a tremendous tsunami which once destroyed Easter Island. Others opine it's a celestial chart, mapping the path of the sun and moon through the seasons. But what really stunned experts was how some symbols matched up when superimposed digitally. When AI placed them over one another, the markings created what appeared to be a constellation. Was it a map to the heavens, a celestial calendar, or an astrological warning attached to celestial events that dictated the fate of the Rapa Nui people? The most unnerving aspect wasn't so much the enigma of the symbols. It was their consistency. The same patterns existed on various moai spread throughout the island, as if abandoned to be deciphered centuries hence. If the statues were simply a homage to ancestors, why conceal their message so deeply that only sophisticated technology after 1,000 years could discern them? When archaeologists employed AI scans to look beneath the statues, they came up with findings that defied expectations. They uncovered hollow pockets and precisely crafted voids chiseled into volcanic rock, geometric chambers buried beneath at least 7 moai. One scan revealed a spiral pattern that looked like a stairway leading down into ground before it cut off with no explanation. Another indicated layers of plates of stone placed on top of one another like a lid, closing something down below. The accuracy was mind-boggling. How did an ancient civilization that never used metal to craft such immaculate rooms? And why did they bury them under giant stone statues? More unsettling, there were no apparent entrances. As if on purpose, the moai stood watch over whatever was buried below. Speculation grew. Were these graves of mighty chiefs, cult coffers for holy relics, or prisons built to hold something deadly? Scientists were confronted with a ghostly choice: to excavate further and possibly disburden what was not supposed to be uncovered, or leave the tombs alone as they were left by their makers. The revelation made the moai silent statues into fragments of far more sinister jigsaw. They were not just statues, locks, strategically positioned to conceal something. When the revelations broke, the mystery went online. Hashtag Moai Secrets and hashtag Easter Island AI Trends went viral in hours. TikTok was flooded with ominous drone shots, accompanied by creepy music questioning, what did they bury here and why? Conspiracy theorists and YouTubers weighed in, posting videos called Moai Decoded an Ancient Alien Prison Under Easter Island, which gained millions of views. Reddit discussions connected the statues to tsunamis, fault lines, and even a flood myth such as Atlantis or the biblical flood. What started out as an archaeological discovery soon became a cultural phenomenon, and not all of it was welcome. Native voices called to mind that the moai are not toys for online conjecture, but sacred objects. Academics hoped that speculation would overwhelm fact. But today, under the influence of social media and artificial intelligence, secrets travel faster than facts. But the same technology that fueled the storm opened a new world of exploration. For decades, archaeology depended on slow, laborious digging. Now, artificial intelligence can sweep, examine, and map what is below the ground, revealing structures without displacing a single rock. The potential is staggering. If AI could reveal hidden chambers below Easter Island, what could it discover below Egypt's sand, the rainforests of the Amazon, or the ruins of Mesopotamia? Professionals describe it as a second renaissance, a rediscovery of the world spearheaded by algorithms rather than spades. But even as machines dig up the past, only human beings can interpret what it means. The Rapa Nui teach us that sacred sites are not mere points of data, but vibrant links to heritage and to spirit. AI can tell us what's down below, but not what the symbols actually mean. For centuries, the moai just stood there in silence, their faces facing the horizon as if holding a secret. Now, with the aid of artificial intelligence, that silence has been broken. Secret carvings, hidden compartments, and cryptic symbols whisper messages across the ages. They are not merely sculptures. They are voices from the past, speaking more loudly than ever. Their discovery reminds us that humanity's history is still incomplete, that there are chapters hidden under our feet to be read. The Rapa Nui chiseled meaning into stone that withstood centuries of erosion and neglect, and now their message is back to confront us. Were these monuments road signs to the heavens, caution signs warning catastrophes, or locks designed to keep something unknown inside? Maybe they were all three. The reality may never be known, but this is certain. The Moai continue to guard a mystery, showing pieces while holding the rest silent. And as AI keeps looking deeper into ground, one can only speculate. If Easter Island had this much hidden under its ground, what other treasures or cautionary tales lie in wait for us to discover?